Okay, so now we're going to chop up the sample and we're going to do it two ways. The first way, we're just going to do it manually, and then we're going to use Beat Detective. So here's the intro part that we're going to use. Let me go ahead and play that.
Thank you. Allowing me to see myself the way you see me. Thank you.
Okay, and what we want to do is just get a few kicks, rim shots, hi-hats, and we're probably going to get this open hi right here. Okay. So what you want to do is just stretch the file out so you can see it a little bit better. And first thing we want to get is a kick. So we're going to go through this file and try to find the best kick. Now there's a few kicks in here, but you want to make sure you get the best one, the cleanest one. So let's go through it and see which one we think is the best.
Thank you. Allowing me to see myself the way you see me. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to choose this one here. And it's a good thing to keep it in slip mode when you're choosing one shots, because you don't want to lock into place. You want to have total control from beginning to end, and you don't want to really lock in. Okay, so I'm going to take this kick here. Let me go ahead and play this back. Okay, now when you're choosing the one shots as opposed to the loops, you definitely want to get it at the beginning, right at the beginning of the sound. Okay, but remember when I was talking about with the loops, you want to make sure you get it at the very end. Well, with this, sometimes the note will you'll end up clipping some of the next note. So if you go right to the very end like that, as you can hear, you get a little bit of that next note coming in. So with the one shots, it's no problem at all to go ahead and just bring it in a little bit. Okay. So what we're going to do there is Control E, select the region. So now we have our kick. So let's go through and look for a hi-hat.
Thank you. Allowing me to see myself the way you see me. Thank you.
Okay. Right here is a good hi-hat. And we got a little bit of vocal in there, so let's see if we can eliminate that. This might be the vocal. I'm gonna bring it in a little bit. Okay, I still got a little bit of vocal, so let's just choose another hi-hat. There's one right there. And it's the same thing as looping, same concept. You just go through it, select the portion of the song that you want, save it, and do your thing. Okay, that's a cleaner hi-hat. Tighten it up at the beginning. And that's pretty good right there. And actually, I'm going to tighten this up just a little bit more. Right there. Okay, perfect. Control E. Create the region. Okay, so we got our kick and we got our hi-hat. And as you notice in our region menu here, I'm going to bring it over. Okay, you know what? One thing I forgot to do. Definitely name your files. So let me go ahead and rename this. This is our hi-hat. Hi-hat. Click OK. Okay, there it is right there. And if you hold down the Alt button and left click at the same time, boom. And let me find the kick that we just selected so we can rename that also. Okay, right click, rename, kick. Okay, so we got our hi-hat and we got our kick. So there's a couple rim shots in here. Let's go ahead and grab one.
Thank you.
Probably go with the ones over here.
Allowing me to see myself the way you see me. Thank you.
And this is actually, well, that'll be pretty good. That'll be pretty good. We'll take that one and do the same thing. And as you can tell, this one's a little bit lower in volume, but we're going to fix that in a minute. So just make sure you got your selection. Control E again, right click, rename, rim shot. Okay, click OK. Boom. So now we have our hi-hat, our rim shot, and our kick. And I want to get that open hi at the end of this intro.
See myself the way you see me. Thank you.
Okay, it's right here. Perfect. Okay, I'm just going to bring this into the beginning. This one, when I stretch it out, I'm actually going to go, even though the sample it's really apparent all the way into the end, even if I trim it off there. Okay, I'm gonna bring it in almost about a quarter of the way in, because what we're gonna do with this is that we're gonna fade it out, and it's just gonna give it a little. It's not gonna stop so short. So when we add it in the pattern, it'll just have a nice sound to it. So I'm gonna keep it there. Control E. Same thing. Rename. Call this open high. Okay, so now we got a little drum kit going on. We got a kick, a rim shot, an open high, and a hi-hat. And that's what we're going to put in Reason, because we're going to lay down a basic pattern using redrum, and we're just going to load these sounds in there. Okay, but first what I want to do, I want to go back to that rim shot right there, and I want to normalize that. I want to bring the volume up. So I'm going to go up to Audio Suite, left click, and then go down to Other, and then go to Normalize. Okay, and as you can see here, we're going to keep it at 100%. So let's go ahead and hit Process. There you go. Now we got a nice sounding rim shot. And the rest of these sounds, they're actually pretty good in volume. Yeah, kick's pretty good. So the rest are good in volume. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing, only we're going to use Beat Detective. And Beat Detective is awesome because it's going to take the entire portion of the song that we highlight, and it's going to chop it up in a ton of different samples. It's going to chop it up here, here, here. I mean, we're going to get a bunch of samples from it. And with this particular portion of audio, we're not going to use all the samples. Because some of the samples will just be straight air. You know, you won't even have anything. And also it chops it up pretty good, but it's not always 100% clean. You still have to go into the file and tighten up the beginning and the end parts a little bit.